In this third segment of Chapter 10, Forecasting, we're going to be talking about qualitative forecasting methods. And remember, quantitative is numerical, qualitative is pretty much non-numerical ways of trying to forecast or predict. So, benefits for qualitative is useful when there is a lack of data. Why no data? Well, a classic one would be perhaps cell phones. You know, you don't really have a frame of reference, or even computers or tablets a number of years ago. You just do not know what's going to happen. You think it's going to be great, but you're not sure. So there's just no data because there's really kind of a brand new product that's not like perhaps many other products. Okay, that's the first one. The second one, qualitative, is also useful when past data is not reliable predictors of the future. And I think cell phones probably even fit more into this category than the prior one, because you may say, well, when I was growing up, we just had one landline phone in our house. And so who's going to buy the cell phones? Well, maybe to begin with, it was just going to be one person in the family, like the parents would share one, and then it, blossomed into both parents having one, and then the older children having one, and then all the children having them, even from an early age. So past data would say, oh, there's only going to be a demand for one cell phone per household, and that's not a reliable predictor of what actually happened. So qualitative forecasting methods, one of the first questions I pose, and I'll show you this down here, is the Delphi method. The Delphi method really has to do with a Delphi oracle back in, I think, ancient Greece, where they were able to, people would go there to say, what's the future hold for us? In this case, you invite a bunch of experts. Perhaps if it's computer, you're going to invite people that are very knowledgeable about computers, like Steve Jobs, or you would have anyway. And so you ask them some questions and you get their feedback on where they think the trends are going to go. And so then you, based on those first round of questions, and you come back maybe another time and you ask them some other questions related to the first questions. And so you're trying to really pick their brains and using that information to predict what you cannot predict with past numbers. And so that's really what the Delphi method is about. The next one has to do with the life cycles analogy method. And that really comes back to a basic marketing principle where you have the market introduction, the market growth, the maturity phases, and then essentially the phasing out phases of products. But you're looking at similar products and you hope that they follow that same pattern. So I guess if you were looking at things like, okay, in the beginning, perhaps there was automobiles, not in the very beginning, but just a number of years back, there's automobiles. And so they said, let's introduce a truck. But we expect it to go through that similar phase, and that would be a life cycles analogy, is you're choosing a similar product and saying, you know what, I bet our product is going to behave like that particular product. All right. That concludes this segment.